Crime alert, bullets flying in Quitman County, Mississippi, up to 100 rounds. And tonight, 2 people, including a teenager, are dead. 3 others were wounded in the attack in Crenshaw, about 50 miles south of Memphis. WRG's Jarita Patterson was the first reporter on the scene and talked with those who either knew the victims or those who narrowly escaped becoming a victim.
At the Marie Lyles Meadows Apartments in Crenshaw, Mississippi, torn crime scene tape marks the area where a sudden and startling tragedy happened Sunday night.
It's senseless, it's sad.
A double homicide with 3 others hurt has...
A double homicide with 3 others hurt. AKA, also known as a mass shooting. But I get it, they tired. They waiting for the next glacier glider to do a mass shooting. We need a glacier glider to do a mass shooting so we can have coverage on this stuff on CNN and MSNBC, man. So the mainstream media could have something to get some ratings, man. You dang old Sun teams keep doing this every day, all day, man. Come on, Glidey. Give us one. You give us about 3 or 4 of these a year. We need another glacier glider. Mass shooting, man. Let's see if they call it a shooting where 2 were killed and 3 were hurt. You imagine if this was a glider team? We had a shooting where 2 were killed and 3 were hurt.
It's senseless, it's sad.
A double homicide with 3 others hurt has many families now on edge.
Children, like you said, children, like walk around here playing, moms and stuff out here at night. Thank God there weren't no kids right here.
This neighbor, who did not want to reveal his identity, describes the moment he stepped outside his front door and unknowingly into the path of bullets.
I started ducking, and I ducked behind the cars, and I started to run around.
The neighbor we spoke with, who did not want to go on camera, describing seeking refuge inside his SUV while a victim was shot inches away, falling to the ground. The neighbor goes on to say this is yet another reminder of how life can change in just a matter of seconds.
There's a guy right beside me, just got shot beside my door.
One of the shooting victims has been identified as 24-year-old Derek Small. His father, who shares the same name, says seeing one of his 10 children unresponsive.
One of his 10 children. So Dad was a pookie, man. Dad was out here in the life, man. That's the only way you get 10 kids, man. In the stand, man. 10. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he wasn't an entrepreneur. Well, he don't got a master's degree or nothing. But 10 kids, man. And if he only lost 1, that's good, man. I'll give him that. 10 kids and only lost 1, even though he may not have been the one to raise. Still. It's fortunate. Fortunate for him, man. 10 only lost 1. In this type of environment, that's a good ratio.
Victims has been identified as 24-year-old Derek Small. His father, who shares the same name, says seeing one of his 10 children unresponsive was a living nightmare.
He landed in the hallway, laying on the sideways. They wouldn't let me get to him. I said, "Man, hold my son."
Sadly, his son and 19-year-old Deshaun Anderson died right here at the scene. Detectives say evidence from 60 to 100 rounds from multiple firearms has been recovered.
Coward, straight up coward.
Mr. Small is dealing with heartache. He says he will have to learn how to live with.
I should have been me or something instead of him.
Even more heartache from other family members.
It makes me feel numb. I can't even, driving home last night, I shed a couple tears.
As several families and a community struggle to process this devastating reality. Reporting in Quinton County, Mississippi, Jarita Patterson, WREG, News Channel 3.
The 3 surviving victims are in critical condition tonight. Quitman County investigators are still searching for the gunman and are getting help from the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. If you know anything, you're asked to contact the Sheriff's Office or the MBI.
Now to a crime alert. A shootout at a Midtown gas station sends 3 people to the hospital, and it was all caught on camera. WRAG's Quamicha Wilburn shows us the shocking surveillance video.
Pay close attention to the black sedan sitting at this gas station on the corner of Bellevue and Lamar Avenue. At first, things are peaceful until this brown van comes into the picture. Immediately, shots ring out from the van, and those sitting inside the sedan duck for cover. Shortly after the van leaves, you see someone run up to the passengers from across the street and start shooting. One of the passengers fired back, and the gunman runs off.
Yeah, they were pumping gas right there. Cause you see, in that car right there, it already had the gas nozzle in the car. And it looked like he'd been shot about 4 or 5 times.
Memphis police say 3 people were shot. 2 of the victims are going to be okay, but one arrived at the hospital in critical condition. This man says he heard nearly 100 rounds.
I'm laying in the bed watching TV, and all of a sudden, just a hell of a bullet just pop, 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 pop.
The man we spoke to says the gunshots lasted for several minutes. If you look closely, you can see every single one of these vehicles has at least 3 bullet holes in them. But if you look...
Okay, so what if you're sitting in your car like I am now? On the phone. Or like so many people, there's other people in this parking lot sitting in their cars. It's not safe in the stand, man. And nothing can stop this. There's nothing that can fix this. And the only thing that can fix this, they're not going to do. Because it's racist. And disparity and disproportion and all these other words I wish they would have never taught y'all. Disproportionate. No. They locking up who doing it. You want to know who doing it in Memphis? Let's go to Gun Memorial. Okay? So there go our boy Emmett Beasley. PSO Emmett. Look at this. What you doing on here, Andrew Drew Rainier? Messing up my narrative. Alright, y'all. Glidey do it too. Gliders do it too. Oh, man. Investigators release affidavit detailing home invasion murder of Rhodes College student. So he was a home invasion. Marshall Task Force captures suspects in Rhodes College student's murder. Wow. Right off the bat. I didn't know about this, but go ahead and tell me what y'all think, chat. Who you think did this, man? Who you think snuffed out this bright young man? And Rhodes College is a good school, man. Very good schools. One of the finest schools in that area. Very good. Very, they don't have a good basketball team and football team. It's not that type of school. It's an academic school. Who you think snuffed out this kid in the home invasion, man? Go on, chat. Let's look at it.
We have a breaking news alert right now. The suspect wanted for shooting and killing a Rhodes College student in an off-campus home is now in custody. 26-year-old Rainus Holmes was taken into custody by the U.S. Marshals. 2 Rivers Violent Fugitive Task Force on Powell. Holmes had been added to the TBI's most wanted list after police say he killed student Drew Rayner Sunday morning and shot another woman. Police believe Holmes had been targeting student homes off the college's campus, and students have been advised to take precautions such as removing decals from their vehicles or staying in campus dorms for the time being. We'll have more on that.
So this brother was targeting these college students at this prestigious school in Memphis so much that they told the students to take the decals off their cars. You know, Rhodes College, you know, I go to students or the Fighting Tigers, whatever they are, they're the best. Take all that off. This guy's out there. And if you live in an apartment off campus, you might want to stay in the dorms for a while. This 26-year-old, 50-year-old, he's 26 going on 62. I'm 43. He look older than me. This 26-year-old, not a peep about this. Should have been a big story. This is a very prestigious school, man. Rhodes College is a very prestigious school, man. Academic-wise, they produced a lot of Drews. Our boy Drew Rainier, who's no longer with us, but they produced a lot of them. Like, if you make it into that world, the business world, the academic world, and, you know, the adult world, people making moves, you gonna run into some people from Rhodes College. And if you say you went to Rhodes College, people gonna, oh, that guy must be somebody. This guy was terrorizing those students for a period of time, to the point where the school advised them to take the school decals off of their cars, to stay in dorms instead of their apartments. And he ended up whacking out our friend Drew Rainier, man. R.I.P. to Drew, man. Damn. Snuffed out. Drew probably did everything right, man. Drew had privilege, right? He was privileged. He ain't worked hard to get where he was. They just gave, they just going around the trailer parks in the little podunk towns in Appalachia and grabbing up random glacier gliders and sending them to Rhodes College, right? That's what's happening, right? Privilege, right? He ain't deserved to be at Rhodes College. They just gave it to him, right? Wow, man. Snuffed this young boy out after there was already, like, and this is the thing. When these schools, like, you see what's going on at Howard University. I talk a lot about colleges on this channel for some reason, but these are the people, and I'm sure this kid was, you know, I don't even know, man. Looking at him buttoned up, he might not have been woke. His hair cut, his hair is short, he's got on the tie. This kid might not have been, he might not have been woke. He reminded me of the kid that had the smirk on his face. They said he was he sued CNN and all those other companies for defaming his character. The kid who was the whacked out guy down at the Capitol was banging a banjo, banging a drum in his face, and he was smirking, and they were like, oh God, look at him smirking. It's the worst thing we've ever seen. That kid, Nick Samuels, what was his name? Nick something. Old Nick. He looked like Nick. I don't know if this guy's a bleeding heart liberal, but he probably was. Kid probably was a bleeding heart liberal. I still feel bad for him, man. Because he's young, 22. He had time to turn his life around. I feel sorry for this kid, man. God. Parents sent him off to Rhodes College. They may have gotten in a note from the school, hey, you know, this guy running around the campus, make sure your kid, you know, takes the decal, all identifying marks that he goes to this school, and make sure we got a dorm room he can come hide in if you want. Like, And then next thing you know, they get the call, yeah, well, your son's dead, and, sorry. What? How are they complaining about mushrooms and mold and leaky faucets and dirty filters? This school, they complaining about bullets to the brain. Wow. Wow, man. Snuff this little kid out, man. This tears me up, man. This tears me up, man. God. Look at all these people, man. Jeez Louise. Who shot grandma? Father and grandmother murdered in weekend shooting. Suspect in custody. God, dog. Who shot grandma?
A man's been arrested and charged in the murder of his father and grandmother. Andre Jones is now charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and deploying a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. Ronald and Martha Jones were found dead around midnight on Amarillo Street. According to the affidavit, Jones told police he found the victims after they had been shot, but evidence allegedly proves Jones was in the home at the time of the shooting.
Oh my God. Alayla Bassett, 8. Father charged with homicide after mistaking 8-year-old daughter for intruder. What? What? According to an affidavit, William Oliver told police he was checking the home for intruders after the child's mother said she heard a noise. When he went to check the bedroom closet, he slid back the door where he saw a silhouette and fired the gun. The figure was discovered to be his 8-year-old daughter, Alayla Bassett. Investigators said the child had a gunshot wound to the left chest area when she arrived at the hospital by private vehicle overnight Friday. There were also 4 additional children in the home during the incident. Oliver is charged with reckless homicide and the death of his daughter. Now, this sounds fishy, but I'm just going to go off on the limb and say that he didn't mean to do it. God, dog. His brother's, what, he's 5'4"? They ain't 5'3". But still, an 8-year-old ain't going to be that tall. You looking for a intruder, you see the silhouette of an 8-year-old, and you just fire upon it? There's 5 kids in the house. 2 adults. How big is this house? Is this like the Addams family house? I mean, like, what is going on here? Like, how big is this house? Like, you open up a closet and you see a silhouette of an 8-year-old, you just bang. He's not bawling in his, like, he just stone faced, like, how's he not bawling in his mug? I just Clovis Richard Hodge messing up my narrative, man. Damn, road rage. He was killed in a road rage incident. All right, we know who did that. Ricky Earl Grayson messing up my narrative, man. You messing up my narrative, man. Double shooting. Man arrested after fatal shooting in Parkway Village. Oh, this was a hombrito. Memphis police said a man was arrested in connection to a deadly shooting in the Parkway Village. The suspect identified in connection to the shooting as 18-year-old Jonathan Anguiano. According to affidavit, Anguiano was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and especially aggravated robbery and aggravated assault. On Saturday around 11 a.m., officers were called to Lamar to report of shooting. Man. But look at all these brothers, man. Look at all these brothers and sisters, man. Whacked out in this city, man. This is one city, man. Hey. Terrence Taylor, his brother, off-duty Memphis firefighter, killed. Suspect charged with first-degree murder and shooting death of Memphis firefighter. God, dog. The man suspected of fatally shooting a Memphis Fire Department veteran has been arrested, according to the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. Detectives arrested 22-year-old Cedric Richardson after he allegedly shot and killed 48-year-old Terrence Taylor Friday at Miller Creek Apartments near Germantown. Richardson is facing several felonies, including first-degree murder, murder, and perpetration of a felony, criminal attempt, especially aggravated robbery, and being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm. Robbed a guy. Man, I'm a little tapped out. I can't do no more of this, man. God, I just wanted to go to the gun memorial just to show y'all. So that's why sometimes, man, I just breeze through, man. Hearing these people's stories is just, God, dog. But I do it for y'all, man, because I know, listen, man. I know y'all say, how do you do it, man? Listen, man. Yikes, man. And I know y'all like, why you don't do the brother, man? I do plenty of brothers all the time. You know, this is just, God. And to say something about this is racist. Wow. If you're not a son man. Wow.
And it looked like he'd been shot about 4 or 5 times.
Memphis police say 3 people were shot. 2 of the victims are going to be okay, but 1 arrived at the hospital in critical condition. This man says he heard nearly 100 rounds.
I'm laying in the bed watching TV, and all of a sudden just a hell of a bullet just pop, 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 pop.
The man we spoke to says the gunshots lasted for several minutes. If you look closely, you can see every single one of these vehicles has at least 3 bullet holes in them. But if you look real closely, you can see even the gas station canopy has bullet holes in it.
By the time I got out here, they had all of the bullet markings all over the streets.
Detectives spent hours collecting evidence. Officers even recovered a cell phone. Those living in the area say this kind of violence needs to come to an end.
So this don't make no sense out here in America that we have to go through this stuff, you know, people shooting like this, really for no reason, because nobody know the reason why.
In Midtown, Quimitra Wilborn, WREG News Channel 3.
And so far, there have been no reported arrests.